Hello, my lovelies. How is everybody today? Are we all good? I'm going to practice what I preach and put my phone on silent. I've done it again.
I'm just trying to turn mine off, but I've got a new phone and I can't turn it off.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. What am I going to do with you? I'm terrible. If I leave it on, you'll just have the weirdest ringtones and stuff going. I need to put my watch on silent as well because my mum's tried to phone as well. And my mum, and she just won't leave otherwise. I dread to think what it's going to be like when she actually passes. She'll be bugging me more than she does now. It's just constant. There's it was really warm in here today.
Calm.
It's really warm in here.
Hello,
today.
long time no see.
I'm hot. I'm boiling.
Yes, it's warmed up.
Summer solstice is hitting me. It's summer solstice or menopause. It's one of the two. I feel like it. Yeah, you have to watch the sunrise.
Well, she does a great howling room and finds this spot where she can see the sunrise.
Done that before. Did Stonehenge a few times. That was mental.
No, she couldn't go as far as Stonehenge, but she went to Great Howling Room. That was really
I've done it.
Great Hallingbury. Ah.
Yeah. Right, everybody. We have got Effie with us today. I'm very, very happy to see Effie back. Especially
Yes,
with the fact
good
that
evening,
I know I
good
can
evening.
trust Effie completely, not like I had last week. So I'm just going to ask Effie if she'd just open for me in any way she wants to open.
Thank you. Be good enough to join me. Divine, eternal creator, higher spirits, guides and teachers. We give thanks for the sunshine today. We appreciate it. 21 degrees. It's going to get hotter and we are going to have to make various changes as well. We give thanks for our wild animal kingdom. We are beginning to husband it so much better and we're trying to protect those breeds that are at risk. We would ask, dear Lord, too, that while the leaders of the world do gather together, that they actually continue their dialogue towards peace. Because unless I've completely misarranged everything, invasions look very much like war to me, and that should not be happening. Because each of our brothers and sisters around the world are equally entitled to a roof over their heads, clothes on their back, and food on the table, and particularly for the children. We give thanks for the other men and women in uniform in this country, whether they be civil or military, for the work that they currently do with regards to the NHS and keeping the peace, but for the work that they did during COVID and helping out the population. We give thanks for the pets that are the owners, for the unconditional love that they give to their owners, and it's a two-way traffic. And this evening, my dear Lord, I will leave this service in your hands. Amen.
Thank you. You all know the drill by now. I have this lovely little healing book right here. I'm just going to read it out and I'm going to read out the list. I'm going to have another moment just to send out some good feelings, good vibes, good energy. Great Spirit, in this time of light, warmth and hope that comes with the warm days and light nights, we remember that there are many struggles we do not see, many hardships we do not face, and much healing that still needs to be sent out to those in need and those listed below. The healing list is Darren, Vicky, Michael, Wendy, Seffi, Maureen, Natasha, Sasha, Sue, Sam, Robert, Craig, Katie, Scott, Hayley, Sarah, Keith, Maisie and Jackie. So if we can all just take a moment just to visualise them in just a better place and just send lots of loving healing energy to them, that would be lovely. Lovely, thank you. I've got a small little story to read out today. Someone asked me a while ago if family members that have passed over that you've never got to meet, do they still hang around? Do they still visit you? Do they still give you attention? Do they still come and communicate with you? And this is a story that I absolutely loved, and I thought it was really, really good example of that. Loading our shopping into the boot of my new car, I felt a slump of exhaustion nearing the end of a busy weekend. Come on, Nikita, I said to my 16-year-old daughter, let's get home. To save time, I took the motorway back to our house in Derbyshire, which I don't often do. It had been raining for 3 days and the roads were slippery, so I took extra care. but other drivers weren't doing the same, and one car had been tailgating me for a few minutes. "This car's right up my bum," I said, frustrated. Suddenly, another car pulled into my lane right in front of me. I slammed on my brakes, and with the driver behind me going so close, it went straight into the back of mine. My car started spinning out of control as I desperately tried to get hold of the wheel. I heard Nikita scream and the airbag go off in the back. Immediately, I pressed the SOS button on the ceiling. Not my new car, I thought. But strangely, it felt as if a protective bubble was wrapped around me. Before, there were cars and lorries whizzing between the lanes, and now it was as if all other vehicles on the road had just disappeared. The car hit me again, and we both landed on the hard shoulder. "Nikita, are you all right?" I shouted over to her. "Yes," she called back, and relief rushed over me. Then I realised that my door had been bashed in. I was trapped. Thankfully, emergency services arrived quickly, and the fire brigade were able to cut me out. Amazingly, Nikita and I didn't have a scratch on us, and we didn't even need to go to hospital. We were just rather shaken up. It was a miracle. We were told that we should have been dead. My car, however, wasn't so lucky. It had £13,000 worth of damage and was away for 5 months being fixed. I was devastated as I only bought it 2 weeks before the accident. For a while, the feeling that someone was watching over me that day played on my mind. I'd grown up in a haunted house, so I was open to the concept of spirits and guardian angels. In time, I went to see a medium, Barry John. "It was your grandmother who saved you and your daughter," he said. "She will always watch over you and your children." My grandmother Selina had died of bowel cancer when my mum was 13, so I'd never met her, but I was told that she was a very kind and generous person. Sadly, Mum had passed away of the same disease, so I couldn't tell her what I'd learnt, but then it all clicked into place. Now I often feel Grandma's presence, and it brings me great comfort to know that I'm not alone when I'm in danger. So I just wanted to read that little one out because it's just one of those. I've heard so many stories of people saying that they've been in accidents where they've just felt like someone's around them, someone protected them, and they, by rights, they should have been a lot more serious than it was. And I just think it's worth remembering that even if you might feel like you're alone and you feel like you don't remember any family or anything like that, they remember you. And I just want to pass that on. Right, I'm going to pass you over to Effie to do whatever she wants to do.
Well, that's very kind.
Yeah, you could do like a
Good
little
night.
dance, do what you want. It's all good.
Yes. It's an interesting, story. But the actual real thing about it is, any friend, member, family, or friend who has passed into the world of spirit, they are there and they remain there in your sphere, if you like, for as long as you are alive on the earth plane. So that when you return to the world of spirit, you will have a chance to catch up with them and have a bit of a chat. When it comes to the actual family, they come, and those who are most close to you, at the point of arrival in that dimension, which we call the spirit world, they will draw very close to you to make sure that you're relaxed and you're comfortable and that you're loved, and until you realize that you've just passed over. And then after that, once you've relaxed and everything else, what you then do, I have no idea, because we keep asking them what they do and they won't tell us. But I rather gather then that you're free to go where you like, because let's face it, you will then be total energy, right? And energy can go where it wants, whenever it wants. It's only this physical bit that is the drawback as to what we can and cannot do, right? And just to reinforce that, if you can imagine there are 10 billion people living on this earth plane at the moment, and when Malthus said more than 5 billion, and we couldn't feed them, well, we're up to 10 billion already, and we're still feeding everybody. But you imagine the number for the thousands of years that the earth plane has been. How many spirits are in the world of spirit? If they were all still in this form, there'd be no room anywhere. But it is spirit. It is total energy. And that's what we work with as mediums, right? I'm just talking to you now while everybody's gathering behind me, and my own lot, my own teachers and everybody else are minding up beside me, and I can hear them actually muttering on like, "Get on with it, woman," you know. And we will do. So just everybody relax on that basis. Now, as I said, my normal spiel at this time, because I'm used to seeing people down in front of me, but it's a pleasure to see you around me, is to remind you that my job as a medium is to make you think. everything else that you get with regards to mediums and everything else, readings and that. But the whole idea is to make you think. If you agree with what I'm saying, that's fine, great, and you will think about it and your spirituality will progress. When you sit there and think, she's talking rubbish, I have no idea what she's going on about, that's even better too, in a way, because it does mean that you have to think, and your spirituality will develop alongside it. The reason we are here is, just as I said, to make you think and to remember from the fact that who you are. Why are you here? You're here to know who you are. And not just the one who's been given the name and got 2 or 3 brothers. We're talking about you, who you are, because you have, and I'm not supposed to be doing an address. I will, believe me, I will get to you as forgiving messages, because the girl here knows, I go quite quickly once I start. But the point is, it is that we have the word God, and everybody's been brought up with this mystical God. And they seem to refer to this person on some sort of cloud who's going to get and do everything for you, when in fact the power is still within you. You have the power. So if we actually take away the children's game, as you like, and to stop all of those with power trying to use your goodwill on the basis, if you behave yourself, you'll go to heaven, and if you don't, you'll go to hell. Neither of those 2 places exist. It is a way of controlling the population. The spirit world, there is another dimension, and that does exist. And it has to exist because, as you will then eventually ask yourself, how can she get to talk to somebody that she didn't know? They had to be around. So given that, okay, Spirit, we can now go to work. May I come to you, please? I have a lady coming through. Mother is in the world of spirit, is she not? Mother was a very good cook, she tells me.
Yes.
Yes. And she's going on about that at the moment. Apparently, we're not doing an awful lot of cooking at the moment. She said she's been around, but I can't get the smell. It's not there. However, everything else is nice and neat and tidy, but we're not doing the cooking. But she was also, this lady comes across as being very competent in herself as well. She didn't take fools gladly, let's put it like that. No. And she could be very quickly irritated when people have asked for advice and then they don't take it. So her attitude, and what she's actually coming through to say to you, is that what's going on around you at the moment is somebody is doing that. They come asking for advice and they come asking for help, and then they don't do it. And they expect you to still pick up the debris. And there is a lot of debris around. So from that point of view, she's saying, calm down, girl. Think about it. And now maybe it's time to put whoever it is in their place, because they're using your energy. They're not their own, and they're not doing themselves any favors. So take her love and know that she's with you. I've asked if there's any dates or anything like that, and she's still thinking about it, because apparently you could have a birthday virtually every month of the year. And so she's saying, go for September. So I'm giving you September. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to you, madam? Good evening to you. A gentleman's in the world of spirit. Yes. Have you by any chance got a husband in the world of spirit? No, that's all right. I don't intend to send them there either. No. Therefore, I have a gentleman who's very close in the family. He's got to be a father figure. And I have a man who was intrinsically a very straightforward man. He spoke his mind, but he was never directly rude. He liked women, but he wasn't comfortable with them. And he would talk about, he would call somebody like me a very strange woman. Yes, in the nicest possible way. And I keep telling, even in the world of spirit, I'm telling him I'm not strange. He said he knows that now. However, so saying, he had and this may sound a bit odd, but he liked women. He had a liking for women. He said, because you all thought completely different to the men. And you never quite knew what was going on, right? He said, so that's what always made life very interesting for him. I gather that, did he have a bit of a problem before he passed over with his breathing?
Yes.
Yes, because he just made me take an inhale breath. He brings his love. He's well pleased. Have you been doing some hard work in the garden?
No.
No, but hard work. Yes. He said, yes, he's been expending an awful lot of energy. Didn't do that when he was here. No. He said, but you did learn, and that's the main thing. So take his love and know that he's with you. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to you, please? Thank you. I have a young lady coming forward, a younger person, who, when I say younger, most of the people who come through, because we're fortunate, they pass into the world spirit at an advanced age. But this young woman would have been late 30s, early 40s. She liked to dance. Okay, don't worry about it. If you can't immediately think, there'll be someone else around. Your grandmother is in the world of spirit. Yes, your grandmother knows her. She has been around you when you've been growing up, this young woman. What she's bringing through to you is pure energy. Apparently, you've been asking the world of spirit for some energy. You've been feeling somewhat tired, and you haven't been sleeping very well either. The world spirit is aware of that, and that's why this young woman has come alongside you. She would be the equivalent of like a cousin, let's put it that way, right? And what she's bringing through is this sense of knowing who you are, because for whatever reason, around you recently, someone seems to be having a go at you, trying to make you wrong-footed. Is this correct? Trying to keep you off balance, let's put it that way. Yeah. Yes. And so from that point of view, they're here to say to you, just relax. That's their problem. Don't take whatever it is, don't take their problem on. Right? Because you can't really help them as much as you'd like to, as much as your instincts would tell you to do so. It's not. They have to grow up.
Okay, just checking on you.
All right? So take the world. Spirit is watching over you, and this young woman is obviously coming in now. She'll be around you more often, so she may now be coming as a new communicator for you. So take the regard. Thank you very much. May I come to you, madam? Don't worry about this. This is my mediumship. I will come down. Right? And so saying, you have quite a family in the world of spirit, do you not? More than one language to be spoken as well in the family. I'm hearing what I would call a Mediterranean type accent. Don't worry about it. The lady that I have with me, your grandmother is in the world of spirit, is she not? Grandmother was also about my height, but she would tend to wear a lot of black more than that. Are you by any chance your sisters, are you? All right, so you would know then, right? Okay. So the lady that I am now working with is obviously coming in, who when she would have been wearing black, she was in one of those moods. And it was broke, no argument. If she said sit down, she meant sit down. Yes. And from that point of view, she's come around to talk with you as well. Have you had a problem with your feet? Yes? Yeah. Well, whatever she's saying is that maybe if it's not actually your feet, it's the fact that you felt as if you had to tread very lightly and be very alert and on your toes, right? Hence her saying about your feet. So from that point of view, what she's simply saying is that you must look after your energy as well, because you allow your batteries to really run down and you get very, very tired. And it takes you a while to get back up to speed again. The spirit world would like you to take more consideration on yourself, right? Let everybody else, yes, you look after everybody else, you're keeping a watching brief and everybody else, but let them get on with it some of the time. So take their love and know they're with you. Thank you very much indeed. This is December is now called out to you. It'll either be a birthday, a passing, or a time of celebration. Obviously, not just Christmas. Cheers. Thank you. Bless you. Now, may I come to you, madam? Don't worry about that. Everybody can say no, by the way.
Okay.
Good, good. Though what I didn't say in the spiel, I do not fortune tell. It's against the law of love and against the law of the land as well, right? So from that point of view, I'm asking who is actually with you, right? And I have a lady who's coming towards me. Your mother is in the world of spirit?
Not mother, but I have people who like mother too.
Right. Well, the lady that I've got who's coming, she's coming on a mother vibration. And actually, I look at her and I look at you and I can see quite a family resemblance, basically in the colour of the hair, right? This lady is quite immaculately turned out as well, as she presents herself to me, right? She comes across on a lady who really knew who she was, very confident, and she tells me that you are too, when you choose to be so, right? And this is a ploy that you have managed to use over the years, more than once, that people will come to you asking you for all sorts of things and that. Some of them you will help and some you say no, but you tend to come over to those as, no, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't know how to do that. But they tell me that's nonsense. You did know and you could know because you actually have a very wide-ranging knowledge and your life has not been that easy, let's put it this way, but you have learned from by your time here on the earth plane. Yes. Well, it's now coming to fruition that what you knew, what you were not prepared to back your own energy on, you are now. And that's what the spirit world is want you to be aware of, is that, yes, that you've put your apprenticeship in, let's put it that way, right? You know what you're doing now, and it's a question of finding those of like-minded people around you who are not any longer trying to take from you energy, time, help, you name it. They would have come knocking on the door. Grandfather's in the world of spirit. He was a very competent man as well. He tells me that you do have a tendency to go towards the tools as well.
Yes.
Yes. He said, it's fascinating to watch you work it out. Give her a hammer and she'll get there. But he said, you actually have the mind of an engineer. It's a question of giving time to do it. Because you tend to want it done yesterday, even though you're only doing it today. Yeah? And that is merely a personality trait. Right? Yeah. Take their love. Know that they're with you in the world of spirit. You have quite a collection there. You've also, saying that, you have quite a collection of photographs.
Yes.
And you've been beginning to sort some of them out. Yes. Well, they would like you, and this comes often from the world of spirit, please put on the back of the who is who, because you're the last one who might know.
Yes.
So take their love. Thank you very much indeed. May I come to you? You can always say no when I come to you, right? Thank you very much indeed. I have a lady who's coming through. She's coming through on a very strong mother link to you. And she was very frail before she passed over. But she's fine now, okay? She tells me you still worry about that, but she's perfectly all right now. She's now back as she was as a younger woman, full of energy and full of devilment, if that makes sense to you. Because some of the words that they use with me, that's in my language, but whether or not how it means is two different things. I have here now a lady who is very calm, very confident, and that's what she wants to bring through to you, right? You stress out. And so it is a question of she would prefer you to be more relaxed. And I said, that's all very well, that's a good piece of advice, but it's not easy to carry out. She said, no, but you have the ability to do it. It is a question of deciding, if you like, what it is that you want to do, right? Also, you have been asking for healing as well. And I'm authorized to tell you that the healing is being sent through. And you have to take some of the healing for yourself as well. Okay? Actually, you too have quite a family in the world of spirit. There's someone younger as well, passed over not so long ago. They're fine. I'm just being told to tell you they're fine. Don't worry anymore, okay? Have you also been experiencing spirit around you? Yes. Try not to be frightened about it. Just let it happen. But if you decide that enough is enough, just say so, because you have the control, all right? Take their love. They are watching over you, but you're making yourself very frail and very stressed out when you don't really need to do so. You can ask for the help, and the help will come. You're also worried about how you will know, but you will feel it. It's that energy. It's in you, and you will suddenly feel quite confident when you have been answered. Let's put it that way. Take their love and know they're with you. Thank you very much indeed. Now may I come to you, please? I have here, because I know just recently, your husband is in the world of spirit. And I know you've been looking for documents because you told me that years ago. And I'm asking him, and he said, she still hasn't found them. And I said, no. And are you going to tell me where they are? And he said, no. And I said, that's a great help, sir, because you're supposed to be a bit accommodating. But he's coming across to me as a man who did, now I'm going to use, if I use the word experiment, right, with emotions. He could be up one moment and down the next. Generally speaking, he would like to find the middle line, right? But at the same time, he would get very enthusiastic over something, and then it might drain away, and then he'd pick it up a bit later, right? I'm still absolutely fascinated that he won't tell you what he's done with those papers. But all I'm seeing, for what it's worth, is if you have a drawer, underneath, stuck underneath, right? In other words, if you pull a drawer out, any drawer, I don't know where it is, but where the top of the thing is, that's where they could be. In other words, they were put there for safety, because if it was in the drawer, they'd get thrown out of it, whatever, but they're settled there. So there must be something there. Why he's giving me that, I have no idea. As I said, we do not fortune tell. So from that point of view, he's now talking about apple pie. Were you a great one for making apple pies? No. Well, he obviously, that's probably then why he's brought that up. Yes.
Well, you should be.
No, don't go there. We do not need an argument with the world of spirit, believe me. Yeah. Your mother is also in the world of spirit, isn't she? And when she has just stepped forward, there's a tremendous resemblance. I can recognize you in her, right? But I've got a lady here who came across, and who is coming across, is quite of a delicate frame, but very strong-willed as well. Yes?
Strong-willed,
Yes.
yes.
But as I said, she's come along just to simply say hello. It is also, she brings, okay, madam. I'm sensing with this lady that she wasn't actually mediumistic, was she? And she was, let's put it this way, she considered it a bit like witchcraft. And therefore she's a little bit concerned about what you're doing. And I'm telling her it's perfectly all right, because you've got a lot of friends around you who would spot anything wrong, right? But she's not really comfortable about that, because she tells me that you're not sleeping very well at night. You've been doing a lot of dreaming.
No, I've not done for years.
Well, that's not what she's telling me. So,
Honestly, I don't remember the dream for years.
well, that's different about remembering the dream.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, but in some cases, you see, when one is actually dreaming, you're using up an awful lot of energy. And this is what she was, I sense, wanting to get to, is that your energy levels can fluctuate quite considerably. You know that, and you try to adjust it. But the point is, it is the dreaming that you're doing, but that you don't remember. It's just taking you out and about, right? So she's around you, and she's still coming to the terms with this mediumship ability, even though that she's in the spirit world talking to me. And I thanks very much, madam. Yeah, because that's making us all a little bit invisible if we're not careful. However, just because they go to the world of spirit doesn't mean to be seen that they become saints. Let's face it. So I will leave her with you. I will leave her love with you. And is it tea? Is it green tea? She's just simply mentioned green tea. I will leave that with you. It may be there to help you sleep soundly. Right. May I come to you now, please, madam? Thank you. You have quite a family in the world of spirit, don't you? I can sense there's a lot of people, but there was a great deal of love. Is there a younger person in the world of spirit? Because I'm getting a younger energy coming towards me. Yes. I'm getting a very gentle energy as well. This person had a gentle side to them. At the moment, I can't see them. All I am getting is the energy. It's because they can approach us and how they feel like it. But this person, is it a female? I'm getting the sense of someone who is very concerned. And why it's saying female, because that's how it seems to be coming over to me. All right, bear with me, because I've now got, what I'm looking at is because I've asked the person to fill out a little bit, right? We've got someone who's about my height. We're looking at about the 5 foot, 4.5. It's the half is very important, right? And the young lady passed into the world, or the lady passed into the world of spirit at a relatively young age, either late 30s or early 40s, but she didn't look old either. And she had a breathing problem, which was quite serious at times, but that's not what took her to the world of spirit, right? She's not discussing that. It's just that she was also very musical. She loved music, and she tells me, you like music, you like rhythm as well. You like to dance. You like the swaying of the music. Music can relax you, she's telling me. Yeah. So she's just popping in to say hello to you. It has been quite some time. She's been passed over many years. Although we had been speaking earlier, which is one of the reasons why I don't normally sit around, but she's now talking about high heels. We're now talking about stiletto heels. Yeah. I'm telling her they're very rarely worn now at all. She said it's a shame because they've always made the feet look terrific. And from that point of view, what she's simply coming through is to say is for you to relax. You have been doing quite a bit of dreaming, and you have sometimes been trying to interpret the dreams, and the spirit world is saying, don't bother. They're only there. The dreaming is just to help you to relax, right? There is a man also coming through. I think since I've got a grandfather figure coming, and he's talking about decorating. I've got the smell of paint. You may have been thinking about it. Yes, because that's what he's given me. He tells me that's what you would be like to be doing, but that is not really your forte at all. He said your forte is getting it organized and getting it done and getting all of the paperwork and everything else there. Yeah. Yes, so he's going to be around you in the foreseeable future, because I rather gather that you have also developing your interest in mediumship.
It's been on hold.
Yes, but it is now becoming more intriguing for you. So you will begin to look to within yourself for some of the answers, which is what you should be doing, because that's where they are. You people with like Willow here and the organization here will help you to expand and develop that if you so choose and when you're ready to choose. At the moment, as I said, grandfather he's quite happy to be around you at the moment. He said, because you're actually quite relaxing to being around you, right? What is it about a window? Has there been a problem with a window? Yeah, because he seems to be aware of that. He's just said, mention the window. As I said, I'm not here to give you chapter and verse. My job is to make you think. Anything that I have said to you that made you wonder or agree, then we're on the way of accepting and acknowledging that the spirit world existed. So take their love. Thank you very much indeed for speaking with me. Sir, may I come to you?
Yes.
Your father is in the world of spirit. Your grandfather, because it is a father figure. And I've got a man who knew exactly what he was doing. And I think your father does it as well here on the earth plane. He's not well at the moment, but he, generally speaking, okay, so what he's saying to me, as long as it suited them, that's what it was accepted. In other words, everything around them had to function around them. Yes? Mm-hmm. Well, grandfather does appreciate that maybe was not the best way of dealing with things. They got themselves into all sorts of arguments within the family and outside of the family as well, because not everybody took the same attitude, that because it suited them, it should suit everybody else. But the gentleman that I've got, grandfather that I've got with me, he's suddenly quite off the cuff. He's brought an old bicycle in. It's a black bicycle. I'm asking him why. Well, it's a form of transport. That would have been in his time more of that. It is transport. It's being able to displace yourself, being able to go from A to B. You like to travel, apparently.
Yeah, I do travel around.
Yes. I don't know you as from outside at all. But the point is, that's what he's bringing through, is this sense of not being footloose and fancy-free, but liking to be able to travel and to see and to experience. You're also beginning to read again. Mm-hmm. Yes. And what you're reading is more or less it's more likely to be, that's rubbish, that's nonsense. And you're quite right. In some cases, it is nonsense because it's somebody else's opinion of a lifestyle, right? And you have quite, he's telling me, you have quite precise views on certain things and how you like things to be conducted and how you like things to be done. And that is your way of doing it, right? And therefore, when you meet others who don't comply, or you read where it doesn't comply, then you will take umbrage against it, which is fine, because that's your life and that's how you work it. And he said, besides, it goes down through the family of the men anyway. They've all got the same opinion. So take his love. I will give you that, because they would never have said that while on the earth plane, and even you don't use the word very often, but their best regards. So thank you very much indeed for speaking with me. Thank you. May I come to you, sir? Long time no see, isn't it? Yes. Now I'm asking who's with you, because over the years we've had different people. I'm getting a younger man coming in. I sense that he may have gone into the world of spirit when I say younger to me, we're now looking at my age against them as well. So he'd possibly be in his early 40s when he passed over, and he would have had a serious health problem. In other words, I'm feeling that there was more than one thing was wrong at the time. Can you place this person in your memory? You can say no.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, well, I'm asking who else is with him, because they don't come alone if you don't actually can identify them. Your mother is still here on the earth plane, yes? Right, so the lady that I have who's walked alongside him is your mother then. She would have been about my height.
Yeah.
And she was a very chatty lady as well. She had quite a bit of energy. But she did, like everybody else, to pull their weight as well, apparently. Right? So she knows this chap, right? She was aware of him as well. So I'm asked why they brought the combined energy. Is that you have been, apparently you find yourself in a bit of a void, a vortex, not quite sure what you're going to be doing or what you want to be doing. You're back in the questioning state again. 1 minute you're agreement and the next, no, that's not on, that's not right, right? So from that point of view, the spirit world is still around you. They're still waiting for you to make up your mind as to what you want to do, because you have the ability to heal as well.
Right, yeah.
Yes, you know that. It's a question of developing that. Okay. The chap who's come along with, who's here alongside your mother, he brings you pure energy. He tells me that your batteries have been quite flat just recently. Right? He said just as well he's not driving an electric car because it wouldn't go anywhere. Right? So from that point of view, the spirit world is still sitting back waiting for you to make up your mind as to what you want to do. But then that is your right. You can choose when, how, and whatever. Right? Have you had a problem? I'm saying that two things dropped into mind from Mother is staircase, and the other one is plumbing. Has either of those two affected you just recently? You can say no, but that's what she's just given me. Usually when it comes to a staircase, it's usually because one is rising up, therefore it is energy that you're using and knowledge which one is gaining. Why we're getting the roof, I have no idea, and I'm plumbing. Although I have a sense that she's talking about the gutter. Ah, okay. All right, now we can use the word gutter because that can have more than one meaning, can't it? Well, yeah. Not only rain, but it could be something gutter, something talking, a situation that has arisen that she would have considered in the gutter, let's put it that way, not quite right.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so from that point of view, as you well know, the spirit is around as to what you want to do with it or not with it. So I will leave that with you. Thank you. And all those friends that we haven't seen for a long time. Cheers. Bless you. Sir, may I come to you? Good evening to you. I stand back. Sorry, I'm getting slowly high in front of you. I have a lady coming through. Mother in the world of spirit? No. I then have got grandmother, right? And we have another lady who was about my height, maybe slightly taller, and quite a slim-built woman. She passed into the world at quite an advanced age, but she was very frail before she passed over. Okay, yeah. Right? Yeah. But I have grandmother, the lady that's presenting herself as grandmother, she's come through because she tells me that you, forgive me for this, but I'm using her words, that you experiment, you can get yourself into all sorts of trouble without even thinking about it. Because you want to do something and you have a tendency to, once you've done your focus on it, you go for it. So there can be for and against of attitudes and behavior. Does this ring a bell with you? Because if not, I'll ask her what she's talking about. Sorry?
I don't say anything's got me into trouble, but I kind of make my mind up.
Oh, well, perhaps that's what she meant. Therefore, you were left in a quandary as to what you should or should not really be doing. Also, this lady's giving me the impression that I'm seeing like a family layout of people. You go to her for tea, did you?
Well, I would have done on occasion.
Yeah. And it would have been, a proper sit-down, cups and saucers and all of that. Yeah. The best china all brought out. Yeah. And that's what she's trying to get across to me, that you do also like the finer things in life as well. Yeah. You are more comfortable with them too, because it's not just simply the value, it is the feel of it, it is the look of it as well. Yeah. Right? Okay, madam. She's now just gone off at a tangent. She's talking about tall buildings and getting big, huge buildings, a bit like a skyline, like in America, like New York. Okay. Now, I'm asking her why she's giving me that. That can also be related to ambition as well, the desire to do more and to go further. And from that point of view, the spirit world, and her in particular, they say, go for it, lad. You can't, you might as well. There's nothing out of reach if you put your mind to it. Mm. And that's I sense is what she really was coming back down to, is that you choose to do what you do, and if you then, you do not then make excuses for things. You work it out. In other words, if you wanted to do something, you do it. You don't then sit back and say, oh, I wish I'd done that.
Yeah.
You haven't got time for that.
Yeah.
So take the regard from the world of spirit. Actually, are you mediumistic as well? Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm also getting the sense that they're now talking, and there will be a certain amount of resistance as well. So from that point of view, they are there to be of assistance to you. Thank you very much indeed. The lady next to you.
Yes.
Good evening to you, madam. Mother in the world of spirit?
Sorry?
Your mother?
Yes.
Yeah. Mother was about my height, was she not? About the 5 foot mark,
Yes.
5'4" mark. It was the other half inch. She too would have stood quite tall, because she was quite formidable for her in herself, though, was she not? Another lady, if she said sit down, it would be a good idea to do so. But generally speaking, she would have gone for the quieter side. Everything just for ease more than anything. But she also had a very gentle side to her as well. She's talking, I'm getting the sense from this lady that she also would have had healing ability as well. People would come to her, they would talk to her, looking for advice, but they do that with you as well, don't they?
Yes.
Yes. And people forget that healing isn't just all about the laying on of hands. Some of it is just about listening, because she tells me that you do not give out advice, but you are a very good listener. There's only one major drawback, that they leave their problems with you. And then you will spend time and effort and even tears in some cases, right? The lady I have here, she was also quite creative, was she not? She could sew and she could knit. Yes. She could turn her hands to most things. And she tells me that you have the same sort of ability, whereas with her, it would have in some cases been a necessity. With you, it's choice as to whether you do it or not. What is it about jigsaws? I've just been given jigsaws. Are you into doing jigsaws?
No.
No, okay. All right, so there's something that's going on around you at the moment. I rather gather from her, she's used the term jigsaw to show me that there's different pieces that can all fit together. Whatever it is around you at the moment has been quite complicated and quite distressing at times, but you can see a pattern every now and again where it can be dealt with and other people can be dealt with, and then it seems to disappear for a while and then it comes back again. Basically, she tells me that you actually carry most of the worry, right? And that's not in your best interest, right? If you treat it a bit like a jigsaw, insofar as that others will have to contribute to make it easier. So take her love and know that she's with you. The month of September she's calling out, which will either be a passing, a birthday, or some sort of anniversary. She's given me the month of September. So. Well, it can be, yeah, but Mother called out September. If it's the mother-in-law, perhaps she wants you to give some more thought to mother-in-law, right? How she might have dealt with things as well. So take their love from the world of spirit. And yes, also that you two must rest more often and try and get a more full night's sleep. Yes, thank you very much indeed. May I come to you, madam? Good evening to you. Again, I have a lady coming through, and she's coming through on a very strong mother figure. I usually work only with the family, right? It's not mother, she's still here, isn't she? I have a grandmother figure then, right? And she's standing in front of an old range. Do you know what I mean by that? It's a cooking range, yeah? So if you can place this woman, she's a member of your family, and she had a range. And for what she is actually coming through, it's the range It's the word range. Not only is it there as a place, but it is also to mean in a language. What's been going on around you has been quite across a range of problems. And she said she doesn't believe that any one person can have so many bits and pieces going on at the same time. And she congratulates you for coping as well as you have. She said because she would have tended to want to blow up in some cases and tell some people to not only to grow up, but to get on with life as well. You are also, do you work mediumistically as well? Yes, because again, I'm getting the sense from the higher entries telling me that you treat a lot of it as daily one of those things, right? But you do learn from it. This is the point. And you have been having discussions with your group, if you like. And it's becoming very interesting because some of the arguments, while you're actually doing something quite mundane, they'll come in again and they'll start talking to you. Yes. The range of knowledge that you're gaining at the moment is yet to be developed for future use. But then you are aware of that as well. Have you also begun to write things down? Yeah, well, perhaps you might take it to the next step. Even if it's only writing down the odd word, okay? Don't try to necessarily link them unless you're feeling in a very good mood. And you would feel in a very good mood if there was music going around you as well. They're now telling me. But the odd word here and the odd word there, don't simply tear it up and throw it away. Just keep it because it'll have significance. You'll be surprised from how it will come back to you, let's put it that way. This lady is very well known. She is a member of the family. I'm only getting the sense with her that she was slightly more distant in the family, simply because she too was mediumistic. And as much as it seems perfectly normal now, it's not so long ago that was not considered normal at all. So from that point of view, her light was kept under the bushel, where she said, with you, you're free to make the statements and deal with it. So take their love and know they're with you. Thank you. Now come to the lady at the very end. Good evening to you, madam. I have a gentleman coming through. I'm sensing a father figure, tall man. Well, everything, my brothers were over 6 foot, so anybody up to sort of 5'10", 5'11" is tall to me. Yeah. I've got a man who actually stood up quite straight. And he actually looked at life on a very straightforward pattern as well. He didn't expect things to come to him. He expected to work for what it is. And he tells me that you have the same attitude to living as well. He comes over as a man who was also very concerned about the general state of things around him. Even the law. I mean, he would have been very fascinated by this general election we're about to go into. He would have been taking each of their arguments to pieces to see how good or bad they were. At the same time, he was very generous as well. And he would talk, which is of a generation of men, the fact that he would talk to women made him stand out to a certain extent. He tells me also that you two have the interest in healing. And are you developing that as well? Yes. That is good because it'll be one aspect of your own energy that will allow you to expand without causing any ripples. I don't know why he's brought that up. I can only assume that there must be some section in the family where maybe what you're thinking of doing or becoming interested in is not considered fair dues. There'll be a bit of opposition on it. So you're going to need to be strong in yourself when you know what you're doing. He will be around you on that score. You have animals also in the world of spirit, dogs in particular. A little dog, I just don't see it breed, but it's just come in. And it was playful, let's put it that way. And I rather gather from what Father is coming across, that's what he wants to bring through to you, is a sense of playfulness a bit of fun. He said, because life has been pretty dreary just recently and has been for a few months. We do not fortune tell, but I rather gather he's getting across that you're on the right path now for getting it all sorted out. So take his love and know that he's with you. Thank you very much indeed. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is...
Thank you so much. Would you mind just closing for me?
Sorry?
Can you just close for me?
I'll close for you, yes, of course.
Lovely, thank
I was
you.
going to say if anybody had any questions, but...
Well, they can do that as well. I don't mind. I'm good with
Because
that.
I got a sense of queries. Anybody got anything they quickly like to ask me before I close the service? Don't be afraid of it. There's no question you can ask that would be considered either irregular or stupid, because it is all coming to understand spirit and the spirit world. Nope. You're quite happy? All right then. You'll have a cup of tea in a minute?
Yeah, we will definitely have
a cup of tea.
The
Right.
kettle's on out there. Yeah, there's cake, there's tea, there's coffee.
All right, so begin. Divine eternal creator, higher spirits, guides, teachers, and all of the loved ones and friends who came to work with me this evening, I thank you for your time, your energy, and your love. I would ask for one further favor, that each and every one here travel safely to their homes and that their families are protected until such times as we should meet again. Amen.
Thank you so much. I have forgotten who I've got here next week or next time. I've forgotten because, do you know what? I've slept since I last looked at this. Just about. I have next got Melinda Cady on the 5th of July. She is lovely. It'd be nice to see her again. So you get rid of that thing, throw that on the floor. I need that. I need that for I do live streams, so I have to record those as well.